Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. We are. Um, I wanted to talk a little bit about a project that I started over 2 months ago. I actually watched another channel, and they are living in their RV like what we've done. And it's an older one, apparently, just like our fifth wheel here is. And what they've done is they went and they changed out the LEDs. Well, it sounded like what he did is he went and got bulbs. And what I did is I went and I found Leisure, who makes these lights. And they make them for the RV industry. Oh, and there's a couple other manufacturers too. And I went and I found these. I got a 5-pack of these double ones. 6,000 Kelvin, 3 watts each side, and if a chip goes out, it continues to work. You can have both, off, and just one. So I purchased 5 of them for $30. Then I went and I found these two, which are push button. They're 4,000 Kelvin. So it's a cooler, warmer, or it's a warmer light instead of a cool light or a daylight. It's a warmer light. It has an on-off touch button and it's dimmable. 25% to 100%. 25, 50, 75, 100. And screws right in with the holes. Doubles we found, because we have a couple spots where there's doubles and in the bedroom. And then singles, where the chair is, over the vanity, the kitchen sink, and a reading one for over the bed. So these 6,000, these daylight ones, what we've ended up doing is I put them up on the ceiling. You see all 3 of them. I put them up on the ceiling here, so we have this area here well lit now. So if we're bringing groceries in or doing, cleaning or doing something that we need a lot of light, we've got a lot of light here. I haven't completed it yet. I started this project over 2 months ago, but so many other things keep happening. I've got one in the hallway up there, and then we're going to put the dimmable ones in the restroom. I already have one just over the bed. I have to put the other one at the by the headboard. So, and these are controlled by a switch here on the wall. I got a new sconce light with the 4,000 Kelvin, or 3,500 Kelvin. Actually, it's a warmer. Put that over the dining room, and then the sconce here. So it's got some nice warm light here. You can read, we can play cards, whatever activity we want to do at night. If we need a little bit more light, and here's one of the dimmable ones. Push button on. It's at 25%. That's 100%. It's a nice warm light. A little extra light, so it is a tactile, and it does take a little bit remembering where everything is. Sometimes you have to touch things twice to make sure, but it just adds enough warm light right here. And I like that you can turn them on and off. A little touchy. And the same thing, I have a single one over here that we put over the sink. If I can get it to work. And actually that's a little bit whiter. That's a 5,000 Kelvin. So we have a little bit more white light right here. And then it dims also. And then there was a light that was under here, an incandescent. And I made that into a warm light. So if I'm sitting here in my chair, I have a nice little warm light to, if we want to read, look at something. Still haven't got used to them. So You know, what I found out is I used to work on emergency equipment, and what I found out was that, you know, some of these LED bulbs, especially cheaper ones, aren't as reliable. They are funny with, even though the voltage range might be from 9 to 18 volts, 20 volts, they still act funny if they don't get the correct voltage. And I also found out with cheap bulbs, if you lose one chip, then the whole bulb is gone. Okay, so you might pay a couple dollars for a bulb, but, you know, I bought these from, you know, the company that makes the lights in the RV, that these light switches and everything have been in this RV. This RV's 15 years old. The lights still work. I just wanted to get rid of the incandescents. They create heat, and they do use a lot of energy. 3 watts each side. These dimmable ones, this one's only 5 watts, and this one's 2.5 watts. So yeah, it's going to be an energy savings when we're running off the battery. Something I don't understand is when the guy I talked to, when he talked about either these lights will come with a 1141 or 1156 bulb. And this 1141 is 18 watts, and he was saying that it's an 8 watt bulb. Well, even 921s, the wedge types, they're still 18 watts. And 1156 is 27 watts. And I've noticed that years and years ago, they switched to these lower wattage bulbs because of the 1156s would overheat, melt the lenses or the housings because they would get really warm. And one of the other reasons why I wanted to change out the incandescents is because of the heat factor in the summertime, having a light on or something and creating extra heat. You know, sometimes you may not think that it's a lot of heat, but if you have a couple lights on and you heat up a little area there with the lights on for 25 minutes, it's going to make it a little bit warmer up there. And in the summertime, if we're trying to cool this or keep it cool, I don't want to have, and I want to save energy too. But I just don't understand when somebody puts something on, why they don't make sure they know what they're talking about so they sound a little bit more credible. You know, a lot of people may not know or care about what a wattage bulb is or what it, but you know, when you say that it's this many watts and it's actually not, you know, and then somebody like me that knows some things and goes, well, that's not true. I don't want the same thing happening to me. There's already a few things I've talked about, and I see there's always somebody that wants to beat somebody up, just like I'm doing. I'm beating somebody up, but I'm not going to go to their channel and beat them up. I'm not going to make a comment. I'll just put it on mine. And if they figure out that I'm talking about them, then so be it. But I'm saying it, and I am kind of tired of negative comments. I figure if you want to have a negative comment, create a channel then, and then talk about, instead of just the negative comments that I get or that I've gotten in the past are just really silly. It's just, you know, just silly. And I'm sure somebody's going to say, well, you know, you could have bought a bulb for a lot cheaper. And well, I have 2 of each. Even for when I put them underneath in the compartments, I have 2 of each extra. So if something goes wrong with one of them, I have 2 to replace. And that's what we decided to do. It seemed more logical to me than going and buying bulbs. And like I said, in the past with getting things and doing stuff, a project for somebody, and they want to buy these cheap bulbs, or, you know, if you wanted to get something from LasFit or VLEDs, you know, those bulbs are expensive though, but they have warranties, they're guaranteed for X amount of hours. Well, it's the same thing with the chipset that they use on these. Okay, they're guaranteed to work X amount of hours. So, and I can take these back for 2 years also from the date of purchase. So, a little bit of a warranty is good for me. I like it. Will they go bad in 2 years? Probably not. Typically they don't. But I've seen bulbs go bad almost right out of the box, where somebody has put a bulb in something and they're already complaining that it's not working. A lot of people aren't doing anything about talking about these lights and changing them out. Not sure why, but it's You know, all the new RVs now, our other travel trailer, our 2017 Jayco, has the round cup or hockey puck looking ones with the button in the center, and they're all LED, and then all our sconce lights and everything were LED, and you know, and it's just a no-brainer to me to switch things to LED. But when people do things, I wish they would really talk about what they're researching and what they're doing, so that if somebody sees this and you have the idea to do it too, then you have somewhere to go and look up. I purchased these through Walmart. I happened to find them when they were a little bit cheaper than the normal price, but I've also seen since then for the 4th of July they went down in price. I could actually have saved a few dollars more if I had just waited and purchased them over the 4th of July instead of when I did on Memorial Weekend when I got these. So sometimes you have to shop around and wait, and that's what I do with things. I'll see something and I'll save it, and I'll periodically check on it. Sometimes Walmart or other sites will just have rollback. You know, Walmart calls it the rollback prices, and so I just check things periodically, or sometimes they'll give you an option to be notified if there's been a change in the item. And I'll get a notification, check it out, and go, okay, well, I'll get some of those now. So that's just my little thing on these lights. I think it is a good idea. Like I said, I started it 2 months ago, or in the end of August. And I want to get this finished because I have a lot more things to do yet. So I should have done it today. We had, it's having a nice cool down. It's great. Mid 60s. It was today. It's Monday, the 25th, 26th of August. Mid 60s, beautiful day. We're still getting lake effect rain showers on and off, and it would have been a perfect project to be in here doing this instead of some of the other things I did. I should have got out here and I could have had these other 5, 6 lights changed out, and I would have been all set. Just another thing to mark off instead of the other. I was doing laundry and different things for my bride. I could have been doing that in between. I could have started a load and come out here and put a couple lights up. It only took 4 screws. Even the singles have 4 screws. 4 screws, cut the wires, do butt connectors, reconnect them, push the wires back up in the hole, screw them back up, done. Minutes. But a lot better idea, I think, than just retrofitting the bulb and possibly running into problems later. You know, a new fixture, a little bit better quality. You know, and I also like them too. They're a little bit lower profile than the other ones. And then also the difference with the bulbs. A warm light compared to a more daylight. You know, 4,000 Kelvin compared to 6,000 Kelvin. 6,000 is daylight. 4,000 is a nice warm light. So, nice warm light, sit here, read by, like say play cards. If you need a little bit more light, you could pop on one of them, turn on the sconce, turn on the other one, and just have even more light. So, alright, I hope everyone has a good evening. I've got a couple other things coming up. It's got some chainsaws I wanted to go over, and also some bulbs that I put in the vehicles too, that I've tested, and some of the bulbs have been in the pickups now for 2 years. So, all right, everyone, take care.